Part one of the Sunday roast is out now. The Hawks with a professional win. Crows get it done in the wet. The Showies were back, and Ken keeps his job just by the skin of his again. Das.
Yeah, so this is part one, guys. Part two will only be the Sunday games. So we've got the Sunday games, the Queen's birthday game. So that will be out Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. But make sure you listen. Jeb's a happy man. The Swans finally get a win. He's up and about. There's some pretty average games, but we've got some pretty good takes and roasts. So make sure you listen, like, subscribe, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, at 100K Sports. Send it to your nan, please.
See if she likes us. She finds me handsome.
Handsome Jebby.
And now, 100K Sports and PointsBet presents the Sunday Roast.
Welcome back to the Sunday Roast, the show that celebrates the winners and roasts the losers. The show that gives you all the best odds of the bet you weren't on but wish you were. That is a tongue twister every week. Joining me as always, Darcy Ballard-Dope. How are you, brother?
Good. I don't feel it's a tongue twister until I said it's a tongue twister. You've done it perfect every bloody week. I've been impressed with it. And now that I've put it on the agenda, I feel it's gone AWOL. But Jeb, let's have a quick chat. Obviously, before we get into it, you sound like a man that's a bit dusty. You sound like a man that's happy, but you sound like a man that's got a little bit off his chest. We were there yesterday. How happy are you waking up this morning with a victory?
I carried on like we beat the worst side in the league, like we won the flag at the G yesterday. I played up like a second-hand lawnmower. I couldn't help myself. I finally saw us win in person. I was up and about. So, yeah, I had a bit of winner's piss last night.
Mate, you were very happy. Yeah, honestly, it felt like you won a final yesterday. And like we can say, like you were messaging Isaac, you were messaging Chad. You were just saying, are the boys out tonight? They're like, no, the rest of the team are, but we're gonna go back to Sydney tonight. You're like, Jebby's keen for a beer if you want a beer. Not tonight, Jebby. Wait till they win a final, then they'll come out with
then I'm pissed watching Toby Green get one of the all-time corkies. I have to talk to him tomorrow. What am I going to talk to Tobes about? Does he need a massage or something?
Yeah, well, let's get into it, Jeb, because this is one of your least favourite sides. On the Thursday night, Hawks and the Bulldogs. So the Hawks were 348 before the bounce.
Unbelievable.
Which, when you look at it, Sicily out, Will Day out, Nick Watson out. Who else they got out? Warple eventually went out halfway through the game. He was a sub. But they still had a lot more out. And, yeah, the Bulldogs fresh off a bye. And we heard after the Hawks lost like 3 in a row, it's like bring your mouth guard to training week. And it looked like the complete opposite. It looks like that the Hawks come off a bye and the Bulldogs had just sort of been coasting along. I don't know where the Bulldogs went for their week off, but it felt like they were just like super relaxed. And that's what happened. The Hawks look like a team that have continued on playing and they're like, we can't let them get a hold of us early. And they kicked 5 in the first quarter. And then they just kept the Bulldogs at bay for the rest of the night, didn't they? Like the Bulldogs never really looked like a threat as they came through. I feel that they got it done in the middle. When they got entries, they just try to get the mismatch, whether it was Chol, whether they were sprinkling out to Ginnivan, and a lot of guys kicked one goal. I know the halfbackers came through. We had Weddle, we had Impey, but they just made it unpredictable. They almost did what the Dogs do to you. Like the halfbackers were kicking goals and they were clearance. Newcomb played his fucking tail off. He's so tough. So this was an awesome win, and I can't imagine what the narrative would have been if they lost. It's just like the Hawks are out of the 8. They're looking so bad at the moment, and instead they get a win. They regroup. It's a good win, and then they move forward. But, yeah, it was a bit of a lackluster game. I was waiting for the Dogs to really kick back, but they didn't. They did not fire a shot, did they?
This was such a professional, mature, impressive win from the Hawks. And, like, now that you say it, 340 before the game, when a couple of weeks ago they were premiership favourites, like, everyone's like they're playing in the prelim. Getting 340 in a head-to-head game it feels like I know they've won now, but yeah, as they say, don't get too high, don't get too low. It looks like all they brought back during the week was putting pressure on and getting bodies around the Dogs players to turn them over, put the pressure on, because what they have, I think they had 80-something tackles for the game. They had 22 tackles in the first quarter, whereas last week I think they had wasn't it like 30 tackles for the game? They didn't tackle for the whole day. So Sam Mitchell must have just put on some tape and they must have just trained it. And it was as simple as getting pressure back on the ball carrier, get bodies around, and you could see it. And David King and stuff showed some footage after the game. Just when the Dogs were trying to handball chain out a halfback, there was Hawthorn bodies all around the ball. And it's just so simple. Pressure is just so simple, but it gets forgotten sometimes because you're trying to do so much else. And they were just great. That is such a good win with those blokes that are missing, as you said. Now, not all is wrong again. They're not out of the 8. They're cemented in the 8. All is right again at Hawthorn. They go where they're playing the Crows, I think, on Friday night in Tassie. Like, that's a genuine 50-50. They're back. So impressive. And you're right about the Dogs. What the hell were they doing in the bye? Did they just think they were going to rock up, roll over Hawthorn, off a bye, like, we're fit, this will be easy? And just Bevo does some weird coaching things sometimes. Like, he seems so stubborn sometimes. Like, he's like, no, I'm not going to lock down on Chol a bit more or whatever. He's, so stubborn to what he's doing. And it's like, just stop something that the Hawks are doing and then get back into the game. I don't know. I just question it sometimes. But, yeah, super happy for the Hawks. Disappointing for the Dogs. But people say this all the time. The team off a bye is not as good as you think. Like, coming off a bye actually isn't that good. They're a bit, still relaxed in a way, where Hawks have been playing the routine, never changed, this and that. So, yeah, great win by the Hawks.
One little roast that I want to do, which is pretty much tailing off what you said with Bevo, like he's a bit stuck in his ways, or whether like he doesn't want to mix it up. One of their biggest spark plugs over the last month has been Riley West.
Yeah.
And was playing him so deep forward. I love him. He's such a good player. He had 3 touches to halftime. He didn't have a touch in the first quarter. He didn't get near it.
Yeah.
And we know that when he came into the league, how pissed off he was at like how he wasn't able to crack into the midfield. Well, you had Treloar out there looking like he was 70 years old. I'm pretty sure you said in a group chat. It's like, why not chuck Riley West in there and just ruffle a few feathers? Why don't you try and get his hands on the footy a little bit more? If you get his confidence up, then he's going to start wanting to run into packs or just push that little bit harder. It looked like he was out the back, and then when it did come down, it was over his head or kicked to someone else. And it's virtually impossible to get into a game as a small forward if A, you don't get any quick, fast breaks, or you're not giving him any opportunity to any tall defender, your key forwards coming out so then you can crumb to. They literally had nothing. And yeah, I just can't believe that they didn't let him get into the game. And that's where you got to give credit to the Hawks. When you watch from the start, when the Bulldogs got the ball, they would go wide and the Hawks would just flood a whole area. And the Hawks couldn't get the Bulldogs couldn't get their run on. They're just trying to chip, and they just blocked it up so fucking well.
Yeah.
And all the entries they were getting in was so slow, and they were able to pick them off. So it was a great game. But yeah, how bad did Treloar look?
What the hell was going on there? Did he roll his ankle, or did he get a bit of a corky in the first quarter, or is he just coming off a bit like he hasn't gone full speed for a couple of weeks? Then he was trying to, and he was just limping around. He looked 90 years old. What was going on there?
And we had him in every fucking multi as well.
That was on us. That was so hard to watch. Libba only has 14 touches. He goes to half back. Like, what happened there? That was weird as well. Maybe he did a couple of things that really pissed off Bevo, and he got the belt and got sent to half back. I don't know. Just a couple of weird things. Bolt was playing well, not great. Aaron Norton's the most overrated player in the comp. Geez, they'll be begging to get Sam Darcy back. So now, off a loss, Sam Darcy's ready. They beat the Hawks, they might have given him one more week off to then come back. But now do they overreact and go, Norton's fucking shit house. We need Darcy back, so Norton's playing a bit more centre forward because we can't trust him as our lone full forward. So super interesting to see what they do there. Dus, how much of chalk and cheese is the Jack Ginnivan we've seen this season? Early on the year, not saying he was fat, but he looked fat, slow, and he couldn't move. And you're like, what the hell is this? Then the last couple of weeks, how lean and fast has he looked? And I know he had off-season ankle surgery and stuff, but the last couple of weeks, it's been chalk and cheese. He finally looks like he's got a bit of zip back. He looks lean again. He's moving well side to side. Typical Jack Ginnivan. Early in the year, like, this guy in Hawthorn's best 22. Like, will he be their grand final day? Now he's secured his spot in the side for good. Like, he's a dangerous player, so I'm happy for him.
Yeah, I follow him pretty closely. I love him on the socials. He's always good. He always posts. Did you see what he ate the other week before the Collingwood game?
No, what?
He had rice and blueberries.
Yeah, he has it all the time. Rice, mince, and blueberries.
Just rice and blueberries. I'm sure it's great because I love both of them. But before the season, he was actually looking really lean.
Yeah,
he was. And then that doco came out, and he was so pissed off about how what it was, his ankle, his foot, whatever it was, and he wasn't able to do the running sessions. And when you can't build up those weeks of actually working, you're trying to get fit on the run. And he looked just like he couldn't turn. He was a little bit slow. He got dropped. And to be fair, as I said, he had 4 goals and 22 touches in one game. Probably should have only been 1 goal. All the twos players looked after him.
Yeah.
They gave him ones over the top. They sort of stuffed up his sheet. And then he's come in. But how good, as you said, the last 2 weeks have been unbelievable. This is the type of small forward that Hawks, that Sam Mitchell wants. Get up the ground enough where you can get 20 touches, close enough to goal that you can hit the scoreboard and kick 2 or 3. If he missed the goal, he would have looked like an idiot, but I love it. This is what he does. And he gets it. Yes, it is footy, but it's entertainment. Like, he will never have to pay or like look for a job after footy.
Yeah.
Imagine when he can like charge for a sports night at a footy club.
He's got so many stories. Yeah.
Him, who would you rather, him or Jason Johannesson?
Yes.
It's one of Norm Smith. You want Jack Ginnivan because he's got character. And it's good. Like,
so much
I love
story.
that shit.
Yeah.
NBA players do it. We're wrestling fans. You watch wrestlers do it. I know it's more scripted, but it's good. It adds to it.
Yeah.
I fucking love it. And then when he's rolling, the Hawks look awesome. And like, you can't take your eyes off him. So this is, as you said, it's just a professional win. They got it done. I don't think anyone saw this coming. I think the line was 19.5 before the jump as well. And they've won by 22.
Yeah.
They've almost swung that back out the other way.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear.
Which is great.
I noticed Hawks fans didn't whinge about when Jack Ginnivan held the ball out. Who was he showing the ball to? Whoever he was showing the ball to. I noticed Hawks fans didn't whinge when they cried like little bitches when Willie Rioli did it to them. Oh my God, they whinged when Willie did it to them. How sooky were they in the media and all on the comments on Insta? And now Jack Ginnivan, they're like, oh yeah, how good's that? Guinea, oh, he can do whatever he wants. Jeez, I hate Hawks fans. They've got no idea.
Do you have any? Do you have any that you want to name particularly?
Nah. Let them be. All right, you got some odds for us.
Yeah, I do. So Marbiol Chol for 4, Jev was $16. Ginnivan for 2 was $2.20. Vandermeer for 2 was $4.20. Rory Lobb, you couldn't get him, which is a bit weak, I think. He kicked 1 goal too, so we need to make sure we get a mark of him. Jarman Impey kicked the snag and rocked the baby, Jev, $7.50.
Nice.
Bailey Williams kicked the snag at $3.10. Connor Nash kicked the snag at $3. Josh Weddle kicked the snag at $2.50. And then Bailey Dale for 30 was $2.35. Kennedy had 29, but for 25 was $2.30. Josh Ward had his best game for the club. For 25 was $2.90. John Newcomb for 25 was $1.95. And Dylan Moore, we want to put him on the radar, Jev. You said this the other week. He's probably going to have a 25 disposal game. He did. He was paying $9.50.
Yes.
And Jack Ginnivan for 20 disposals is $2.90. So
Nice.
if you're looking for the Hawks smalls, anywhere between 20 and 2 goals, pick your favorite, put them together. You would have cleaned up on Jack Ginnivan in the last 2 weeks.
Moore, we did it a couple of weeks ago. It was $13 for 25. And we're like, he's an All-Australian. Like, a big game's coming. And we took him that day and he had another shocker of like 13 touches. Like, we can't bet on that. Finally hits his 25 touches, $9. We'll never get $9 again for him to get 25. So that's that game. Let's roll into Friday night. This game, even though it was wet and it was a bit of a slug, it was just an old school banger. Like, territory, kick long, put pressure. Who can be in front when the final siren goes? And it's so funny. You can have any opinion you want on this game. You can say the Dogs were, the Lions were robbed. You can say the Crows clutched up. You can say whatever you want. The Crows end up winning by 5 point stars. What is your opinion on the game?
Brisbane just didn't get it done when they had the opportunities.
Yeah,
this is what they've been doing. You looked at the finals, like how they come back and they claw back these victories, and you just think they've got this lead. They've got them at bay. They look like they dominated them in the first quarter. Like they did. They had so many shots. I know they only kicked the 2 goals to start the game. You're like, this is just what Brisbane are doing. Jasper Fletcher's good. All the young kids are good. Like, yes, they don't need Joe Danaher because everyone's getting a lick of the ice cream. And I feel like they were just playing a really good team game. That's what they do. I think Chris Fagan's so good at just playing it however we have to, depending on who we're versing and where we are. And it was in the wet. I think they were playing a really good wet time game. And then the Crows just come out. They kick 3 goals in the first 3 minutes, which you can't let them do. You can't let a home team try and get a bit of spark, get a bit of a jump. And I've always called him this, Jev, from this year, the finisher. Ben Keys, what do you do with him? He gets the 5th banana. When he gets on ball, when he gets going, he's incredible to stop, like unbelievably hard to stop. He will run your ass off. So you have to make sure you put someone to him the entire game, because if you don't, he's going to make you punish.
Well, the thing about him is awesome. He goes and stands himself on Dane Zorko, and he has the fitness and the work rate to whenever Dane Zorko's gone forward, he will bust his ass to run with him. But when the Crows win the ball, it's the exact same the other way. And he's questioning, can Dane Zorko defend like I've just been defending? No one can do it. He did it to Blakey last week. No one can go back the other way with him. He is an animal. He's so impressive.
Who would win in a race back to goal, Jack Higgins or Ben Keys?
Oh, it'd be a banger. It'd be a banger. You know, like the in the NFL, those punt machines, the two wheels and the ball pings up in the air.
Yeah.
That's the starter mark. You set them 100 meters away from goal and you ping a ball in the air and they both have to sprint back to goal. Oh, they would fang those two.
Like Ben Keys is quick. Like that through ball he got from Rochelle last week, he was off.
But that's how you break a zone in a modern game.
Yes.
You have a guy.
Yes.
You have a guy that's broken through lines and no one's going with him, and he's standing in the goal square by himself. And you got to question, like, do I go back or do I have to get the turnover outside the 50 so it doesn't land in Keys' hand? He's such a gun. Chevy Fridays was Ben Keys to kick 2 at 3:25. You and me spoke about it at the gym on Friday. I'm like, that feels like a layup. Ben Keys to kick 2 in the wet. That game was made for him. I absolutely love him. Das, we got to talk. Jordan Dawson, man.
I took the words right out of my mouth.
Even though he just Josh Dunkley could nearly be the best tagger in the league in the terms of he gets the job done on Heaney, on Bont, on Dawson. He stopped Caldwell last week after Caldwell went off for a quarter. He gets the job on like really good players that he's just standing on them at stoppages and just slowing them down. But then he goes and wins his own footy. So you could say Josh Dunkley sort of got Jordan Dawson a bit or made his life hell for the night. But then in the last quarter, just the skip, puts himself a full forward, takes a big fucking hanger on Liver King, puts a knee right in the middle of his back. Apparently after the game, they're joking about how there's going to be a poster on the club rooms this week of Jordan Dawson putting Liver King on a poster. And then goes back and slots it to give them their first lead of the night or whatever it was. You're like, you are a superstar. Like a top 3 in the comp, goddamn superstar.
So that's what I was going to say. He's undoubtedly the All-Australian captain.
Yes.
Like he's had so many moments this year already where he's had to go and kick goals and he just does it. I know they lost against Collingwood. He put himself out of the cage and then kicked a massive goal to bring him back into it. I know Collingwood went away with it, but that's the momentum's like Turner. Same thing. He puts himself forward again and he got Tex, Phil Thorpe, Fogarty down there. And then you've got Dawson coming up, taking these unbelievable marks. And he's such a beautiful, pure kick of the footy. Every time he marks it, do you think, like, I never think he's going to miss. Ever. He marks it. In my head, I've already, like, penciled it in. I'm like, this is going through. Like, he's not missing this. He's so good at recognizing the moment. It's like he has control of his own magnet.
Yeah.
It's like wherever the game needs him to go, he will go, whether it's down back and he has to hold it up a little bit and play quarterback, or whether he's like, fuck, I've got to go forward. I need Saligo. I need Keys. I need Rankin. Boys, I need you guys to get a ball down to me so I can come up and make a play.
And how much
that's exactly what he does.
How much does he look like a pure full forward when he goes full forward? He looks like Matty Lloyd the way he just comes out. You kick it out in front of him in a bit of space. He just comes out, mitts out, clunk, and just goes back and slots him. You're like, he's like the best full forward at the Crows. Darcy Fogarty's on myth watch. He can't get near the ball right now. Jordan Dawson's like, Fog, you go to the bench. I'll play your role better than you do. Yeah, it's just unbelievable. I'm so impressed.
So I want to say, I was chatting to a mate last night. I know he probably won't be listening. Josh Wilson, shout out. The boys are the Lions up in Geelong. They're 7-1. But he said, I think Collingwood may have peaked too early. And I said, yeah, look, who knows? It's a long season. But I said, you know who shows everything now that they can bat deep? And I hope they bat deep because I really enjoy this style of play at Adelaide.
Yeah.
I want to see them in a prelim.
Yeah.
I want to see them on grand final day because I think like this team, like I guess if you look at the 4, Adelaide, Brisbane, you can still see there, Collingwood, and who was the other one I had? And Geelong. Like those 4 teams, I think would all make a fucking awesome prelim. Yeah. Like all the matchups. Yeah. I think those 4 teams have been awesome. And like now that you see like how many goal kickers Adelaide can have, because you need firepower and they've got it and they can kick goals out of so many different avenues and they hold up pretty well down back. A lot of the younger guys, Wayne Miller are back there. If Dawson wants to sit himself back there, Max Michaelani, like They're just a good team. Mitch Hinge, like fucking Mark Keane. Like, they just got these guys that just around the edges that are good. And then their midfielders like Saligo, like he's not lighting the world on fire, but he's coming in, he's having his 15 to 20 touches a week, maybe a goal. And they look like a really good team that when they have to get players to step up, they can. And this is just an awesome win. They had to have a win against a really good side. It was shit weather, but they got it done. What did they kick in the last quarter? 5 goals, was it?
Yeah.
They kicked 5 goals straight to what?
Brisbane's 8 points.
Yeah, it kills you.
So can we please roast the Lions?
Yeah, go.
The way they kicked Zach Bailey didn't deserve to get on the flight home. 2 big marks or holding the ball tackles, good looks at goal, and he didn't score on either of them. I think he kick 3 points in the last quarter? Or was it 2? No, he just missed altogether. Oh, it was so hard to watch them just missing. 8 points in the last quarter, a few rush behinds. They were kicking it. You know when you're outside 50 and you're having a shot, but you know you're not making the distance, so you kick it in the goal square and it just gets punched over, and it's like
the worst kick you can do. It's the easiest ball to defend.
Put that in a more dangerous spot. Like, they butchered it, absolutely butchered. But it's why you don't quit on the Lions, because that is just one bad quarter. You know, like Chris Fagan and the mature side can tweak that during the week and they'll get that better next time it happens. But if you're a Lions supporter, you are filthy at that. Zach Bailey, Lachie Neale had a great look. He had to take one more step and straighten up, like right at the end there. Oh, geez, it was hard. You're happy for the Crows. They held on.
Yeah, I've got a question. When's the next pyramid?
This week.
Can we get Will Ashcroft in there?
Well, Will Ashcroft, Hugh McCluggage, Jez Cameron. There's so many guys.
I'm sure there's a few blokes we can drop, or you can drop.
Yeah, Tristan Jerry.
Yeah, fuck him off.
Jack Higgins will get replaced by Jamie Elliott. Jamie Elliott probably has to be in there. If he has a big Queen's birthday.
Will Ashcroft, man, his touch and his first hands. You know those little TikTok videos he does, and he's just like, he looks like a bit of it. He does it though.
Yeah.
Every time he's so clean and just finds an avenue and gets a player moving. He's like, his bag, like his skill set as a midfielder, he's got all the tools.
Yeah.
He's got every single one. If he wants to go ground ball up, he can take body. He's so tough. I love him. Absolutely love him. Do you have any odds?
Yeah. So Joshua Shelley for 3 was $4. Ben Keys for 3 was $9. Cameron for 2 was $4. Charlie Cameron for 2 was $2.50. That was StatMate's leg of the night. I don't know if you've seen on the PointsBet app, but StatMate now give you like the top trend leg next to their leg. So they're like Charlie Cameron 2. You click on it, takes you straight to the StatMate app, shows you his form against the Crows.
Actually,
it's actually really cool. Hugh McCluggage for 1 was $3.30. Jordan Dawson for 1, the best bet in football, was $2, just an even $2. Kyle Lohmann $1.50. Luke Pedler $1.80. Then Ashcroft for 30 was $3. Jared Berry for 25 was $6. Hugh McCluggage was $1.56 for 25. Jasper Fletcher was $3.60 for 25. Rory Laird was $1.95. Also was in the StatMate hot zone, so that was on the PointsBet app. Get on this. It's a top trending one and it hit. And then Ben Keys for 20 was $3.30. So you got 3 times 9 is 27, basically 30 to 1 for Ben Keys' game.
So you're telling me if we want to double our money, you can either go to the casino, we're either going to load it up on red, black, or Dawson for a snag.
And you take Dawson for a snag every day. It won't be nice. $2 much longer, Dust, because it is the safest bet at the moment.
All right, let's get into the next game. So Saturday, we go 120. It felt like it was going to be a bit of a bad day. The tickets weren't working. You had to go around. We had to get the tickets printed out.
The train was fucking packed.
Train was packed, but we got in there. We got in. We got some seats. General admission. There wasn't. I think there's 44,000 there, so it was good. We got a nice seat near the Sydney Cheer Squad. You got a few beers in you. What the Tigers kicked 3 in the first quarter. And we're like, first thing me and you said, so Chad goes to full forward. Somehow you got him for first goal after the bounce had happened. I know he didn't kick it. But it was like
Heaney first goal.
Heaney. You know when you back the trots?
Yeah.
And sometimes like you can see you gets out early, you still got 30 seconds to get on. If you got that would have been an awesome bet. But we said, has Dean Cox done it again? Has he just put Heaney full forward and not allowed him to get into the game for the first 20 minutes and let the Tigers get a run on. Dion Prestia was off the leash. He was absolutely everywhere. He was moving. He sold candy twice. We're like, holy shit. The Tigers actually look like they're ready to play. And then you guys just fucking put the foot down and said, no, we're the Sydney Swans. This is why we were on top of the ladder by 3 games this time last year. Like, we've got some bias coming back in. We have to win this game to give ourselves a chance to get the guys back and not put them on ice for the rest of the year. And you boys just went to town. It was scrappy. It wasn't a game I'd probably want to go back and watch the replay unless if I'm watching the last quarter. But your good guys played good. Grundy played his best game for the club. But yeah, you would have been fucking stoked. Or you were stoked.
Yeah. So now that I'm just looking back on the game, remember the last couple of weeks I've been talking about Caden Cleary and just some
Warner.
guys in our side that I'm sort of like, we're playing too many young guys, like too many. Caden Cleary, Corey Warner. There was another one we played last week, Caleb Mitchell, all these guys, and we're bringing too much unexperience in.
Tom Hanley.
The Swans yesterday, they bring back Callum Mills and Harry Cunningham. Both played 1 million games for the club. Just how much different was it having them mature? And I know it was against Richmond, a young side. I know we've had our demons against them on the G. But the way we set up the ground ass, so we own territory for the day. So if it was in our inside 50, Richmond just didn't look like, we just turned the tap off on Richmond scoring. And we just set up the ground, and it was Mills and stuff. And we gave Heaney and Warner the chance to be deep inside 50 in their most dangerous spot, knowing that like Cunningham and Liz and Mills and McCartan were all set up back there, that it was going to be hard for Richmond to score. And we just took our time with it. And yes, we could have kicked more goals and we probably could have beaten them by more. But we were sitting next to some Richmond supporters and they're like, we don't look like scoring. It feels like the Swans are winning by 100 points being at the ground. Like the tap got turned off for the Tigers. So I'm just wrapped knowing it was such a professional win and knowing when our good players came back in the side, how much better we just looked. I know it was against Richmond, but just instantly, we just looked like a better, different side just because of Mills and Cunningham. So now Errol comes back. Amadi comes back. Papley's probably a couple more weeks away, but they're going to come back after the bye. And it's like, as you get more better players who have played together 1 million games in a row and understand the game plan, it's going to start clicking. I just think we're too far behind the 8 ball. We just are, aren't we? We're too far behind. You see how good the teams in the 8 are. And Hawthorn winning, the Dogs losing, the Dogs still have this soft run home. It's like, I don't think we're going to be able to catch any of these teams. So it's going to be a bit of a wasted year, but I still believe, I saw it yesterday going, no, we don't need a full rebuild and to trade anyone crazy or anything.
No.
The guys are on the thing. Maybe Dean Cox can coach. We got it right. All the rumours, Das, were true about, they got on from the SCG last Saturday night after they got pumped by the Crows about midnight, 1 o'clock. They were at the beach, 6 a.m., doing push-ups, sit-ups, and in the water as just a boot camp sort of thing. We messaged Chad about it. He goes, 100% true. It's been a hell of a week. He's like, we got put through hell this week. Brought their mouth guards to training, absolutely everything. So, yeah, good win by the boys.
I like how you said, you guys... and the Swans players would have felt out there, they're not going to, they're not scoring on us. They don't have a scoring presence. So there was one bit at the end where, and it just shows the confidence in the team coming into the last quarter. McCartan ran off Lynch, took a mark, and it was a 2-on-1 on the wing, and he just kicked it. And he's like, well, there's Heaney with a 2-on-1. I'm sure he can do it. Got it to Chad, Braden Campbell, and then Aaron Francis had a shot 15 metres out directly in front. And that was the result of being confident and being like, fuck, I'm actually going to come off my man because they're not looking like scoring. I can impact here. As opposed to, I just have to stay on Lynch the whole time because he's a threat. He looked like he wasn't going to run the game out. And that's instantly then. It took him 4 quarters hey, these guys aren't going to score on us. Let's go. I can go out and make a play. And they did end to end. And if that was a clutch time of the game, it just would have been an awesome play. I know you guys were up by 60 points at that time, but it definitely looked like the confidence was back. And I know you said you might not be able to make finals. There's a post I saw today. The last time Carlton were 15th in round 13, they played in a prelim.
Wow.
Shit can still happen. And from seeing Will Day out of Hawthorn's side, they were zipping 5, and you get your good players back. you're a completely different side.
Yeah.
You look at when Cunningham comes back in the side, I'm telling you, with Goulden back in the side and Papley, it's going to make a massive difference. And there's no reason why you can't make finals. Other teams might get injuries. We said yesterday there was a stage, Heaney had it, and we're like, look, he's kicked to Warner. And I'm like, and that next kick should be Errol in the middle, and then it's going straight inside. That was the first quarter because it was looking stagnant. We're like, when he gets back, then it's just going to open it up even more. So don't be surprised. I feel if you lost that game, who knows whether they rest them a little bit more and you tinker with the last month, maybe they come back. But now you got the bye. If they're good, they come back. It's going to be exciting to watch. It's good when a few teams are out of the 8. Yeah. And then they start biting. Nika, and it's like, all right, they're exciting. They're exciting to watch.
Think about this time last year, we were 12-1 and we'd put all our best stuff on tape. Now this year, we're having a swing at it from outside the 8. Everyone thinks we're shit, so our tape doesn't look that good. So you don't game plan like we are the best side of all time sort of thing. And we're just going to have a crack. But we can't overreact to beating the Tigers when we still had that loss to the Crows last week. Like, geez, that was a bad loss. So anyway, it was just good to see the Swans win. I wanted to have a Chad or Isaac last night. They were like, nah, Isaac was going to Noosa. Chad was going to back to Sydney. I think I would have to go out with Sam Wicks. I'd rather shoot myself in the foot. So, no. I like Wicksy. I like him.
Can we quickly say before I get on some odds, we said after he's copping it so much in the media, we're like, Blakey's going to go off the chain today.
30.
We said touches. On the train, we're like 25-1, and he's finished with 34.
Yeah. He's finished with so crazy. And that is just as simple as Cunningham and Mills coming back in the side. And he can trust them to defend at the level he does. And you're not trusting, say, Matt Roberts will play on our side, but maybe he doesn't defend well enough, so they need Blakey to be a defender first. As soon as Mills, the skip, is back in the side, Cunningham, it lets Blakey free, and then he goes and reminds people why he's the All-Australian halfback, 34 touches off halfback. It's like, is this the Blakey we're going to see for the rest of the year? With Errol coming back, I hope so, but yeah, it might be too little too late, but it was good to watch yesterday. One last shout-out. Tom Lynch gives Tom McCartan a bath every time he plays him. He's just one of those matchups Tom McCartan struggle with. Got to give love to Tom McCartan. He gave Tom Lynch an absolute bath yesterday. An absolute bath. Yeah, Lynch looked 120. Lynch looked like he should have been playing Super Rules with Adam Treloar. They looked old. Yeah. He looked so old. He runs so funny, Tom Lynch. Like, you know that guy, I believe that jacket belongs to Mr. Gilmore. That's how Tom Lynch runs. It's weird to watch in person how old he looks. I like Tom Lynch, but geez, he can look old at times. Maybe he needs a spell as well. You got some
He was out there looking like Charlie Dixon.
Yes, he was.
Yesterday.
He really was.
That's what he looked like. Some odds. So James Jordan Jeb for 3 snags was $29. Not even his family would have had that.
No one person on earth would have been on that.
Look, Chad Warner for 2 was $2.50. Seth Campbell for 2 was $2.15. Grundy for a snag was $3.30.
Nice.
He had his best game for probably for ages that I've seen.
I think about 7 free kicks in the first quarter. He started playing well after that.
He worked his way into it, and that's probably one that I wouldn't mind looking at for the next few weeks.
He looks super fit at the moment. He's covering the ground really well at the moment, Brody Grant. It's been a couple of weeks like that.
But he pushed forward a little bit more. So for a snag was $3.30, so I don't mind that. How's this? Dion Prestia for a snag was $2.75. He was paying the same amount as Noah Bolter. I know Noah Bolter played backline, but that's pretty and I know they swing him around a bit, but I couldn't believe they were playing the same. I know Noah didn't kick one, but they were playing the same. Blakey for 30 touches was $14, and Mills for 25 was $4.30. Everything else was pretty regulation, like everything within $1, so no one wants to hear.
Watching Noah Bolter yesterday, so we were saying, geez, he's in good shape at the moment, isn't he? He's ripped. Like he's
doing prison push-ups. Hey? That's all he's doing. Push-ups. He's just doing push-ups and chin-ups in his little cell at home.
He's on that prison fitness program, but it shows how much consistently playing footy means, because he's in all-time fitness. He trains every day, but because he misses games, then comes back. Like, he just looked a step off yesterday. He was good, but not great. You can see he's a star, but he just hasn't played enough footy this year. So we need him to get off bail. And the Tigers need him.
Mate, do you see his foot kept zapping when his thingo went off? So his battery on
Das Reagans.
On his anklet, he have to go back to the bench every 20 minutes and recharge it. He just has to check in and then come back. He's just been eating My Muscles chef meals and instant coffee.
Das reckons Tom Lynch could have put a shirt and jeans straight after the game and gone to the pub. Like, no shower, nothing. He didn't sweat. He didn't get dirty. He didn't do anything. He could have walked off, taken his jumper and shorts on, put some jeans and a shirt on, and gone to Richmond Club Hotel at home.
I have to have a shower before I jump in the cot. I just feel dirty. Tom Lynch could have put his trackies on and just hopped into bed, and he would have been comfortable.
All right, let's go. Let's go to the next game. This is a super. Oh no, who won? Oh, the Cats got it done. So I'm thinking the wrong game. I was celebrating during the winner's piss. So I didn't see much of this game. So I need you to tell me about this game. All I've seen is the Cats get it done at home like they always do. 24 points, mature win. They've kept Gold Coast to 37 points. That's not enough. And I saw Tom Lynch nearly killed Noah Anderson. Talk to me, Das.
Tom Stewart killed Noah Anderson.
Sorry, not Tom Lynch. Tom Stewart. Yeah, Tom Stewart killed him.
That was in the last quarter. But let's get into how when I just can't believe, like, Dangerfield, no impact. Jeremy Cameron, no impact. Where are we going to get it from? It was a pissing down in Geelong, and it was just like a territory battle. And they're like, where are we going to find it from today? And it was Tyson Stengel.
Yeah.
He kicked some unbelievable goals from some really tough shots, and he got it done. I just want to say, if Grindmeyers isn't the best kick in the league, he's number 2.
Yeah.
Like, his field kicking yesterday, every single club would love to have him for his entries inside forward 50 or his playmaking ability. It was pissing down yesterday, and some of his foot skills and like to kick people open or just find these avenues to actually get a good shot on goal was unbelievable. Like, I don't know where you would rank any other player, whether you have Errol up there when he's back. Nick Dacos, he's an unbelievable kick, good touch kick. Grindmeyers kicking inside forward 50 would just be a full forwards or a forward stream.
Yeah.
So they end up getting it done. They were just a little bit tougher for a little bit longer. I went back and rewatched it. Joel Jeffrey, I know he had the 25 touches, but I'm not sure that he's your halfback.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on there.
Again, he had another big turnover yesterday. I was up early. I couldn't sleep last night. Too many Cokes yesterday. Too many Coke Zeros and coffees, Jev. And he just turned the ball over a few times. Not good. Matt Rao was really tough at the source. And I can't believe how much Max Holmes stood up in the absence of Bailey Smith. The number one thing that stands off any sports screen is speed.
Yeah.
If you've got speed, when Darcy Jones is on a flat track, he stands out. Yep. It's just like what he's at. His ability to just break the game open and just look around, like he looks in front, as long as he's not someone collapsing in on him, looks behind, he's got a bit of space, then he can go. One way you almost actually have to defend, if he's in open space running towards you as a defender, you need to make sure that you've got an extra 2 guys behind you so they can push up onto your man so you can actually run at him.
Yeah.
Because the longer you keep running back with your opponent, he's just going to keep running forward. And he takes so much territory. Yeah. He takes a 30-meter play into a 90-meter play. Yeah. Like, his meters gained every week. He's almost getting a kilometer per game. So he broke it open. He had 40 disposals. But it was just amazing that they got it done without Jez really stepping up. But we have to talk about Tom Stewart's bum.
Yeah.
This was fucking awesome.
He didn't hit him in the head or anything, did he?
No, ribs. But this is where, like, they're going to be like, if he gets penalised for this at all, I don't think he will. But if the AFL says, who's it, Greg Swan?
Yeah.
The new, if he's like, no, this is an action that we don't want, then this will be the last good bump.
Yeah.
Like, it'll literally be dead because, like, no, we don't want this action. If he says, no, it's fine, it's a good footy hit, then there's more grey area because it's like, you're just playing with fire, but there's still such a good time for it.
Yeah.
Like, if you know that you're not going to get hit, the way that you're going to play the ball makes it like it's a completely different game. How many times, if you were ever tagging someone at local footy, I know it's probably changed even the last 5 years, but you're running back into a pack, or if you're like tagging someone, like the amount of times if I had to tag someone would just run through me like at a stoppage because you could.
Yeah. And
you had to have your wits about it, or like if you are a little bit of a pussy and if you're not going to go in, it's going to show up because you know you're going to have someone absolutely run through you. And it wasn't a dog hit. It was perfect, but he makes his presence felt and you need that. Like, not many guys anymore, like defenders, aren't scared to sit in the hole because they don't have like I know, a Dunstall or like a Lockett running through, putting a net, or like a Gary Ablett Senior. Like there's not much of that anymore. So I love the hit. I'm glad that he's okay because we love Noah Anderson, but there's still got to be a spot for
So
it.
did Anderson get subbed out with broken ribs or something? Or
No, he's fine. He went off, and there was like 5 minutes to go in the game, and their medics were sort of like, nah, stay off. And he's just like, I'm not sure if he end up going back on for like 2 minutes or they just waved him, but he's like, nah, I'm good to go. So
just got
I think he
crunched.
Yeah, it just it was a perfect hit.
Yeah, but Tom Stewart is a thick, explosive man. That would have hurt so much.
He's done it a million times.
He has crunched some blokes.
This is what he does.
Where
he's a bit of a sniper, but if you know that there's a sniper on another team, you could scare a bloke out of a contest and you win the ball back. That's a win.
Yeah.
Like there's something to that.
There has to be a line. I don't know, let's call it 21 and a half disposals. If Max Holmes gets over 21 and a half disposals, I reckon Geelong win 90% of their games. And when he gets under 21 and a half, they might win 50% of their games. Everyone knows you cannot let Max Holmes get 40 touches. You can't even let him get 27, let alone 40. He's walked off with 40 touches. Like, just slow him down. Send our man Bailey Humphrey to him for a little bit or something. Someone with a bit of leg speed. Get Dan Rioli on him. I don't know, but he cannot be doing that. This sort of tells me that Gold Coast can't win the flag, can they? They're just not mature enough yet. And they're good and they got the talent.
Finals,
they're still
I hope they make finals.
Hey?
Hope they make finals.
They should make finals and play a final. They'll nearly win a final. But you can just little performance like this just sort of shows you they're not ready to win the grand final just yet. Like, yes, going down and to win at Geelong is impossible for any team except for GWS who do it every time they go there. But like just kicking 37 points in the wet, they've lost 2 weeks in a row in the wet. You know, they just need to grow up, mature just a little bit more. And they're good, they're just not great.
You could argue, apart from Collingwood, like Geelong are the most consistent side in the AFL.
Yeah, for sure.
Like when they play, even if you look at all their losses, when they lost to Carlton, they lost to the Giants, they lost to, who else they lose to? I can't think off the top of my head. Like they almost lost to Collingwood. I know they won that game, but their performances are like pretty linear every single time. You know how they're going to play. They're tough. And they just, they always have a good performance. Like they ever really roll over.
Yeah.
Like they get it done. So I think, it's going to be like them, Collingwood, Brisbane, Adelaide.
Yeah.
Fuck, who knows? But like they're the teams that are like, especially this time of year, like super impressive. And they're putting
GWS,
multiple
Hawthorn, Dogs, Gold Coast, you'd probably say.
They're putting multiple games together. But it was an absolute piss storm. And there wasn't too many odds in this one. So Stengel for 4 was $18. Awesome. Our man Bailey Humphrey for a snag was $2.15. Nice. Lawson Humphreys for the Cats for a snag was $8.50. Wow. Matt Rao for a snag was $2.60. Max Holmes for 40, Jev. I screenshotted earlier in the day and you couldn't get him for 40 because Bailey Smith was still available. I'm sure that probably would have changed after they
like Gold Rush this week on the show for this, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm sure will. But for 35 touches, he was $9.50. Grind Myers for 25 was $2.65. Braden Fiorini for 25 was $6. We spoke about him the other week. And Joel Jeffrey, I have no idea how he got 25. He did, but he was $11.50.
Was he playing on Tyson Stengel?
No. Will Power was for a little bit.
I love Will Power, and he always has a crack.
Again, like I like that they keep putting him on the most dangerous small
and leaving him to die.
Yeah, it's a bit like you just death by 1,000 cuts, but he'll come through in a big game. Like he wasn't on in the whole time, but there was just a couple of marks where he was just like running through, looking around like, fuck.
All right, final game. This is such a Port Adelaide can bloody win. Off a bye, no Horn Francis. In Canberra where no one wants to play. It would have been 0 degrees. Tobes was wearing the long sleeves. I couldn't believe it. I got to ask him about that. He looked like he was freezing. And they just get it done. And Butters is back to his best. And since the report came out that as soon as Port Adelaide are ruled out from contention or making the finals, that's when Ken will step down. So then they just they all love Ken. Butters just has his best game of the year. They get it done. They win by 16 points over the Giants. Talk to me, Dust.
Yeah, so before the bounce, $3.50 Port Adelaide were. The line was 19.5 as well.
God,
so
that's two $3.50, 9.5 point winners.
There's some big underdogs, and I'm sure there probably will be a few more in the next few games as well. But this was Toby Green went down, and I've never seen anything like it. I think they said in the commentary it's only the third time ever in the club's history, or maybe the third time in 10 years that they had a scoreless quarter, which was the third quarter.
Wow.
They didn't score. And I would love to know the stat. I reckon probably the other two times that happened, Toby probably wasn't in the side either.
Yeah.
No Toby, no scoring. I just couldn't believe it. You look at the firepower and you look at their midfield and how well they can transition the ball. And the orange tsunami, it's like someone put a fucking, I don't know, they drained it. They put a pump in the water. There was no tsunami. There's no water to go. They couldn't move the ball. And this was so fucking gritty by Port Adelaide. As you said, everyone's counting him out. And even Ken said after the game, he's just like, oh, looking forward to the break. He's like, not really. He's like, I've got the biggest break of all time about to come up. Yeah. So he's like, I just want to keep going. And they fucking played their tail off for him.
Yeah.
Ollie Wines has been playing his Brownlow season. He probably had a few other seasons when he was younger. This season's been right up there. He's been so consistent. As I said, Zach Butters is super tough. This is where I know Connor Rosé kicked 1 goal, 3, and he does do damage forward. But him sitting behind the ball, this is Jordan Dawson 2.0. Whatever you want to say, wherever you need him to play, he'll go play there. He looks fucking like the best player in the comp when he plays like that centre half back role.
Yeah,
because he stands himself in the middle. He's not the centre half back, but that's the position in where he's roaming, and that's where he plays. Intercept marks. He gets the ball going. He just fucking. I know everyone said that Zach Butters is the captain. You look at how he's been playing the last month and a half, Connor Rosé, and this is this is why he's the captain.
He's fucking awesome.
This is why he's the captain. Only other better games that we've seen at Gather Round where he kicked 3 goals in the first half against the Bombers, but this game is just as impressive. The Giants team were wanting to go, and he was just as you said, the skipper put himself there. He's like, I'm going to help you boys out. We're going to get it done. And then they got that Christian Morales, Jeff.
Yeah, your man.
Came on as the sub, came on, 1 kick, 1 goal. Can someone get him a barber and clip up his neck? Have you seen how much hair he's got on the neck? It's been 6 weeks in a row. Can someone fade up my guy? He's just, it's not a bad little cut that he's rocking with. It's just
Jerry,
the guy that gets
send him Timmy's number from Park Road Barbers and get him a fresh cut.
He's the guy that gets a cut once a quarter, I reckon. Just gets it a bit short and just sort of grows out. But you got to upkeep on the neck hairs, brother. Just give him a clip. It was his first goal in AFL footy, Jess. I'm telling you, it's his first goal in AFL footy. He's going to have that on a poster somewhere, and forever he's going to be thinking, look at the neck hairs. Should have a trim. So, yeah, super gritty win. Awesome, for Port Adelaide. So, well done to him.
Yeah, good on him. That's Jesse Hogan. What is going on with Jesse Hogan? I expected 4 or 5.
We have for the last month.
2, not enough. Is he still banged up? Tom Green has a big night, but not enough. They're missing Finn. Now Tobes might miss a week. So as you say, there's medicine that can fix everything on earth. You can fix a headache. You can fix anything. You cannot fix a corky. Corkies are unfixable. And Toad's got the big knee in the glute. He went down like he got shot. How sore was he in the long sleeves? I'm like, oh, he's going to have the worst week, especially with how cold he would have been. If you go to Corky, you get on the bike, you're like, keep this warm. I might be able to keep playing. It would have been that cold in Canberra that it just would have seized up on him all over, she wrote.
Remember when Heaney got his yesterday? He's just kicking his leg.
He's kicking his leg. He's just limping, kicking his leg. Trying to get a bit of blood into this thing, yes.
So I said when you did your premiership pie, I think there was 9 teams left. And I said, next time you do one, so you had the other teams or whatever, I said, no matter how good they go, they're not making the pie. They're out. They're 0%. They're not coming back in. And I'm like, I would really like the next time we do a few that there's less teams. Yeah. So maybe there's 7 teams. And you just start eliminating. David King said last night, apparently, apart from calling Sam Powell Pepper a mad cunt, he He said, I'm putting a line through the Giants to win the premiership.
Wow. He's ruled him out of
So-
the flag.
I feel sometimes people want to go first and like he wants to say, I was the first one to do it. But round 13, he's put a line through him. He just said, nah, they're not up to it this year. They're not going to win the flag. So I'd like to see in the next player pyramid, Jev, we can just start to knuckle down and just start to put lines through teams.
Fuck.
Win, lose, or draw. You've already put a line through the Blues. We're fucking, we're dogs' ass. Mate, we're like third last on the ladder.
Yeah,
I know we're not
crazy.
even up to
Crazy how
come.
good the
But-
comp is. Like, you guys have been bad, but you haven't been. It's not the worst current side you've ever seen. But like, if you're not good enough, you're not good enough. You're third last on the ladder. Bang, happens so quickly.
So, especially like if you're a Port Adelaide fan, this isn't going to be like a game that like you hang your hat on. But for players to get a win like this, it just helps. Can we keep Zach Butters? Can we keep Miles Bergman?
Yeah.
Because Bergman's been playing really good footy. So if you get a few more wins, you can hopefully try and keep the guys at the club. But as I said, Jeff, there wasn't too many odds in this game either. Jesse Hogan, like for 2 goals, $1.31. That's shit. Willie Rioli for 2, $3.10. Riccardi for 2 was $2.60. Christian Morales, 1 kick, 1 sausage. 1 neck haircut, please. $4.20 for a snag. Zach Butters for 30 touches. He was $3.50.
That's
So
nice.
Zach Butters, Jeff, he was 6th favourite on that list for 30 touches.
Yeah, that's crazy.
6. He was under Ollie Wines. So he was $3.50. Tom Green for $30.95. Lockie Ash for $30.90. And Jack Buckley, he had 24 touches, but for 20 was $5.75. So there you go.
Nice. Well, that is part 1 of the roast. Oh my God, we are back for part 2 of the Sunday roast. We're at Das' house. My laptop shit itself today. I had to do Toby Green Tuesdays from Das' house. Now I'm back to finish the roast. We're going to do Hook, Line and Sinker as a separate pod after this.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Sunday Arvo, where we left off. North, West Coast. North get it done. So I'm going out for dinner with the missus. There's 10 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah.
She's on my ass. Like, we got to go. I'm like, oh, well, it looks like West Coast are home.
Yeah.
So I don't even watch the last 10 minutes. I'm like, this game's over. Take it away, Das.
So let's work backwards in this game. So as we said, North Melbourne were up. West Coast are up. There's no way that they can lose this. They're all on top. They've got the momentum. And then with 3 minutes 40 to go, we see Minnie McWalter. He pulls Tom Cole. And we're like, what are we doing? The amount of DMs that we had being like, Tom Cole, he's having a generational game. He kicked a snag. He hasn't kicked a snag, I think, in 55 games. I think I worked it out. But he was in rare air, Jev. He had 11 touches. What do you have? 11 touches and 1.
Yeah.
This is in the type of form that when they won the flag in 2018. Like, when they played in that prelim, Jev, he had 10 touches against Melbourne, and in the grand final, he had 13 touches. So he had 11 and 1.
So it was a Tom Cole legacy game.
Tom Cole legacy game. He took a really big intercept mark with about 5 minutes to go, and then they pull him. And then the floodgates open, and North just ran over the top of it. So this was lost in the coach's box. I can't believe it. And then I was looking, I kept screenshot. He's been on the bench 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Get Tom Cole back on. And that was it. The game was over. It was just, I just can't believe that you pull the plug on what is the most important part of your back line. Unless if it's Mitch McGovern or Jeremy McGovern, sorry. Like, it's just, I just can't believe that they did it.
So they've only got themselves to blame.
Yes.
So that was one of the worst games I've ever watched.
It was terrible.
Will there be another game at Bunbury again? To be fair to North, you sell a game, you got to go there and win. They would have got roasted if they didn't win. They got there, they got the job done, they got the 4 points. I'm happy for them. But will we ever see a game at Bunbury again?
The barn burner in Bunbury, I doubt it. It was, as I
Bum
said,
burner.
yeah, so you look at the first quarter, 3 goals, 2 to 5 points. West Coast just couldn't, like, when you're watching this game, I know sometimes if there's 2 shit teams and it looks like it's a good matchup because they can both score on each other, they both look like 2 shit sides.
Yes, they couldn't score on
It
each
looks
other.
like you could watch 2 good VFL sides and they'd put up a better performance. Like, they just look so bad.
Yeah.
Like, Harley Reid at the end, actually, they were mentioning there was a couple of contests where he just couldn't run enough.
Yeah.
Later in the game, he was playing on ball. He probably owed him one. Finn Sullivan, they were talking about him like he was like a prime Chris Judd in the second half. I think he had 5. I think he finished with 17 touches for the
And
game.
a goal. Kicked
But
first
his
goal.
second half was really good. But same thing. If you're a North fan or you're a West Coast fan, it's just like, fuck, we're so shit.
Yes.
We're Cheeks. Like, this is the Cheeks Bowl. And the Cheeks Bowl in Bunbury. And it was just, it lived up to expectation. I think Dan He put on his story, he's like, loading the chopsticks into the eyes right now. Like, that's what it was. You got to halftime and you're watching the game. You're like, this is so shit. So bad.
Yeah. I was going to roast Harry Sheasel and Nick Larkey. First of all, what has Alistair Clarkson done to Nick Larkey?
Well, I was just going to say, who actually wants to win the Coleman medal?
Yeah.
Like, who wants to win the Coleman? Like, Jesse Hogan's not kicking goals. Larky's not kicking goals. Ben King, he plods along and kicks a few. Tracy's gone missing.
Jam Allen only kicked one today. Jeremy Cameron only kicked one.
Like, who wants to win the Coleman?
Yeah.
Like, gone are the days where guys are going to kick 80 goals and just run away with it. It's just no one wants to win it.
Do we start looking back again at Riley Thilthorpe, Liver King? He was dominant on Friday night in the wet. Is he going to kick a couple of bags of 4 and pop up? We'll have to talk about this on the pod and get a bit of stock market going.
100%.
And get some fixtures going. Could Sam Darcy come back? I want to know how far behind he is to win it. Anyway, so I saw Harry Sheasel had 20 second half disposals. They needed it. So he was on 8 at halftime. Then he had 8 touches in the third, 12 in the last to get him over the line.
Almost kicked a goal.
Almost kicked a goal. He was nowhere to be found. And I was going to roast like, what the hell has Clarko done to Nick Larkey and Harry Sheasel? Credit to Sheasel. Good players do good things. He came back. He got the game done. They win the game. So you got to give him credit. Still, Larkey is severely out of form. And then another one. Is there I always think consecutive numbers in a row, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are the 3 best consecutive numbers in the whole league? Right. So I was thinking the best I can think of, he doesn't play anymore. Errol 21, Blakey 22, Buddy Franklin 23. Right.
Oh, like actual numbers on the back. Yeah, right.
So I reckon West Coast might have it. Number 7, Liam Baker. Number 8, Elijah Hewitt. Number 9, Harley Reid.
Okay.
And it's a challenge I'm going to put it out to people. Name a better consecutive numbers.
Okay.
What number does that do you wear?
9.
Yeah, so he's 9. Who's 10? McKirch is 10. Who's 8?
Yeah, because
I think it's Tom Powell, isn't
McDonald's 11, isn't he? We're not picking Lukey back.
It's a challenge with the followers. The best consecutive numbers. Probably a post in itself. I'd love to do. I look at it and go, what are the 3 best in the league? And I don't, Cripps is 9. Mackay's 10. I think McGovern's 11.
Who's number 2 at Brisbane? You go Loman.
Berry, isn't it? I don't know.
Loman Berry.
Yeah, this is unlistenable pod.
That's good. Yeah. What are the odds? Also, we said it would never happen, but Caleb Daniel and Zach Fisher in the same side finally won a game. Zach Fisher did everything he could to try not to win the game. 3 points in the last, but yeah, this was a doggy's breakfast of a game.
So Paul Curtis is in as good a form as any small forward in the game. If he didn't get that 3-week suspension, he would be right up
winning
there.
The Coleman.
If he kicked 3, he was $2.55. Jai Simpkin kicked 2 at $5. Zerha was $1.83 for 2. Jack Williams was $2.30 for 2. Elijah Hewitt was $2 for 1. Finn O'Sullivan, first of his career, was $4.75. Nice. And Tom Cole, baby, $8 for 1.
For a reason.
So McKirchell for 35. You couldn't get on PointsBet. I heard he was 61 to 1 for 35 on other bookies, maybe, but we could have got him for 29 for 30.
Nice,
$29 for 30. Tom Power was $7.50 for 30. Lukey Mack, you couldn't get for 20. You couldn't get Lukey Mack for 20. He was $5.75 for 15. And Tyrell Dewar was $19 for 20. So some money to be made in Bunbury, but like you always look at Nick Larkey, you look at Sheasel, LDU, just what's going on at North? I look at Clarko and he didn't punch his hole through the wall anymore. He's changed. Has he changed for the worse? That game stank.
We've got a few games this year that we will never want to rewatch, and the barn burner at Bunbury we can put to bed.
Put a line through it. So now North stay in WA and they play at Optus Stadium against Freo on Friday night. I think it might be a doubleheader that starts at like 9 o'clock.
They're going to get a lick, I reckon. North.
Freo have a bye. Let me just check this.
North are going to get an absolute lick.
7:30 Optus Stadium. Sorry, Saturday night. Prime time. North Melbourne. They're $5.10, and so this is why we loved Freo minor premierships top 4 at the start of the year, because they get to play North Melbourne at Optus Stadium. It's a North home game. Like lucky them. That's how you like when you look back on a premiership or a prelim final run. It's a little shit like that just. When Collingwood or Richmond used to play 18 games at the MCG, like that's the sort of stuff.
That's the one you don't have to go back to Marvel for the 4:40 game on a Sunday.
Yes, and Freo will be licking their lips at this, so good on them. That was that game. Thank God we touched on that quickly. Let's move on. Sunday night, Carlton get it done by 8 points. Das, you're the Carlton man. Talk to me.
Yeah, so was super confident coming into this. We said it on the pod. We just said there's a few teams, and if the Swans lose to them, the Blues will definitely win. It's just footy maths. It happens. One of them has to kick their ass every year. We started again. I'd love to know what Vossi says before the game and then at halftime. He must be just saying nothing at halftime. He must be letting like someone else get up and say something.
Maybe
Aaron Hamill. He's giving him the mic or something. But we started really well. And again, we keep saying it. Charlie Curnow, you bank him in for one good quarter a game. Kick 2 good goals, and you're like, and even on the commentary, they're like, oh, Charlie's going to explode. He's going to go. Even Jesse Motlop played his best game for the club, Jev, which is 2 goals, 9 touches.
Oh.
That's the best game for the club. That's what he can give you, the reverse mouse.
He missed the worst set shot in the last quarter. I'm like, you are a spud.
So you look at this game, and this is typical Carlton. And this is a reason why I just don't enjoy watching footy sometimes, because you just can't. Like, you get in front, and then it's just anxiety for the rest of the game.
And they're coming. And
then you win, and then you're like, fuck, that sucked.
Yeah,
like,
you got the 4 points. You're like, that wasn't fun.
That was not fun. It's
Yeah.
not fun watching my team play. And it's like, you look how shit we are, but credit to the Bombers. They came back. They actually had a really good crack. Now, I wanted to touch on an Essendon player first of all. So when we say you're in the 20-1 club, that's like you're as good as you can get. What about, he's not quite there, but the 25-1 club?
Is that Nick Martin?
That is very close. Nick Martin, he's currently averaging 26.25 touches a game and 0.91 goals. So he's kicked 11 goals in 12 matches.
Yeah.
And he's averaging 26.5.
He's a good player. No one knows what role he plays yet. I'm going to have to go to a game, sit level 3 and watch what he does.
Yeah.
He's just on his own. He kicked a goal in the last quarter where there's no one near him. He just strolled in and finished it. He's in such good form. It's Pyramid Week. Is he a top 21 player in the comp?
I think he is for impact. It looks like either at the start of the game, he'll play forward and kick a goal early, or he goes forward late and kicks a goal. Like, he always looks like, you always remember the goals because it's either early in the game or late in the game.
Anyone that watched the game on TV and watched the last quarter, there was an F in the last quarter where he was chaining it out of the back line. They kept giving him 1-2s and giving it back to him. He would have been the most gassed man on the planet after it. He must be fit as a fiddle.
Yeah.
Like, he must be able to run. He's so impressive. So is he in my 21 best players in the comp this week? Has to be close. I have to be ruthless with it.
What, are you going to pull Merritt out?
Yeah, that's what I mean. If he's in, is Merritt out? Yeah.
He's having a way better year than Merritt.
Yeah, he really is. And then Kane Corns on the contrary was losing his mind last night about Merritt playing it off half back. Like, he's better than that. But maybe so. But I'm starting to believe in the Bombers. I'm starting to see it. And like, finally got some continuity where Brad Scott will be the coach next year. So then they go into another preseason. They've had a little better year. They've got more games into Nate Caddy. Then they go into another preseason. And Nate Caddy's played another 10 games and then another preseason. I'm starting to see it. Will it end up in a finals win though? So I'd never see a flag with them. But all they're chasing is a finals win to put their supporters out of the misery. Will it end up in a finals win next year? I'm not sure. It won't end up in one this year. But I like their list. I like the players they put out in the park. Caldwell's a gun. Durham's a gun. Merritt's a gun. Martin's a gun. They need a ruckman, so they need to re-sign.
You sure they don't want to roll the Undertaker back out there?
They can't play Goldstein again. We tipped it last week. De Koning for 20-1. We liked it for 20-2 as well. 20-1, he had that easily. That was easy money. So, I'm starting to believe, and I just think Carlton, what is going on there?
It's weird. We win, and it's still like, what are we doing? Like, Cripps has to be underdone. Like, he's just not getting to contest. I just want to say, but the tackle and, like, this is why De Koning's so good, because when he is on the pressure, it's a big tackle in the middle of the ground. They get it. And that Zach Williams, I know that you've had the Willie Rioli pointed back towards the players. Jack Ginnivan do it. He's going and pointing to the crowd. That whole video was awesome. You can hear the crowd. They really get up and about. I was listening on Fox, but when you watch it on Fox, for some reason it sounds like the crowd wasn't that loud, but the Bombers was so much louder.
Yeah, I think
but only on, maybe the Blues fans only rocked up in the last quarter, because when Zach Merritt kicked that, when Zach Williams kicked that goal, it was loud. But that was awesome. Point to the crowd, and you can see him, especially at the home end. It was a good finish, and I'm glad that they got over the top, but like, we've got a pretty easy run coming up. It's still, we'll probably get to the next few games. We'll probably be even, like 6-6. It's like, still, what are we?
What are you?
What are the Blues?
So
I don't know.
I got two. I've got my what the hell has happened to them this year.
What the hell?
22. What the hell has happened to them this year? So, James Sicily, Jesse Hogan, there's heaps of players in this 22. Nick Larkey, Harry Shears. What the hell has happened to these blokes? Pat Cripps, What the hell is going on with Pat Cripps?
He's shining up his Brownlows.
Oh,
I don't know if he's just done
he just
too much.
cooked? Yeah.
It just looks like he's not covering the ground. He's not dominating because even last year he would run out. He was Mr. Fourth quarter.
Yes.
If
yes,
you needed,
he won the Brownlow in his fourth
if you
quarter.
needed 11 touches or a goal, a couple clearances, that's exactly what he would do. What did he have?
So 6 touches in the first quarter, that's fine. 4 touches, 10 touches at halftime, 0 in the third quarter, and 5 touches, 15 touches.
And especially when you're someone that's meant to be around so many contests for so long, you get maximum like opportunity to get your hands on it.
Yeah.
And to not get a touch in a quarter, Silvani shank. You saw that he went to kick it in. It's like he was just at the tee box and he's got the wedge out instead of the driver, and he's just clubbed it straight across to the left.
All Carlton supporters agree. You need more or better role players. You need better role players. So I messaged you and Morgs about this trade during the week, and it sounds stupid on the surface, but it's more sort of minusing an A grader to try and get to lift your floor. So maybe your ceiling goes down, but your floor comes up. So Harry Mackay to Melbourne, and in return, you get Cade Chandler, who played today and played fine, Disco Turner, who looks like he can play backline, and someone like Charlie Spargo. So 3 role players that are all in your direct 22, and you lose Harry Mackay, but your floor lifts because you don't know what you get out of Harry Mackay ever. But you just think it's a silly trade. I actually think
I didn't think it was silly. I said I'd still rather keep Charlie. I'd still rather keep Harry. I'd still rather
young kids to be role players.
Yeah, because I still think this was our best role-playing side that we'd had in a while. Like Silvani came back.
Doherty's looking better again.
Blake Acres came back into the side. Chincotta was back in the side playing a team role.
Yeah,
like
Hewitt and Chera are doing what they do, even if Walsh has 30.
This is closer to the team that played in the prelim.
Yes. Yeah.
So when those guys, like Blake Acres had an awesome game, kicked that goal late. That's what he was doing. He was coming in, kicking a goal a week, and he was defending his ass off. So I think definitely this is probably our best team we've had on the park all year. I'm just really disappointed that we didn't run away with it. And like, you want to have a good win. You want to be like, all right, this is Carlton. Yeah. We can just beat up a side, but we can't. Yeah. Was there any good odds?
Yeah. Peter Wright for 3 was 475.
He looked like Carey late. I'm like, fuck, he's going to do us.
He got 3 in a row, didn't he? Jesse Motlop for 2. So a small forward for 2 should be, I don't know, $1.60.
$1.30.
$4 for 2. Jesse Motlop. Jade Gresham for 2 was $4.50. Zach Williams for 2 was $3.10. TDK for 1 was $1.87. Sard for 1 was $5.25. Kicked the first as well. Yeah. Caldwell for 1 was $3.25. And the first game of Llewell for the Bombers.
Couldn't get him.
He looks fast, but he looks like he can play. He couldn't get him. Nick Martin for 30, $2.90. Walsh for 30, $3.50. Parrish, welcome back to us.
Welcome back.
I didn't know he existed anymore. So he was $4.30. Blake Acres for 25 was $6. Doherty for 25 was $3, and TDK for 20 was $1.67. Let's get to game of the round.
Nice.
This game was an absolute banger. Pies versus D's, King's birthday now. The slide stuff, the way they embraced Neil Danaher.
Yeah.
It was awesome before the game, and the game was an absolute banger. You go, and then I want to talk about the future of the game.
Just genuinely thought that this was upset alert game. Sometimes where Melbourne have been heavy favourites. That was one, I think it was Buck's second last game, and I think it was in COVID, and then they ran over the top of that unbelievable Melbourne side. So it just looks like this could be upset all over, and they just held in there. But they just fucked up so many times, just giving away stupid penalties. So the only way that I could think of it, so when Cozzy Pickett, he gets done holding the ball in the middle of the ground. So Nick Dacos has been held so well by Langdon, and it's almost like you're playing against Tiger Woods, and he's just hitting the clubs horribly, but he's putting really well, and you know he can putt really well. So what you've done, without not giving him the ball back, you've just given him a free put.
Yeah.
You take the ball from the fairway and you just put 3 foot from the hole and you just let him putt it in. You let him get his confidence back.
Yeah.
Just so many undisciplined things, not giving the ball back. They pretty much gave him 3 goals, and that's what they end up winning, or like they end up winning by 1 point, but it's such the small stuff. But you can see Stephen May was fucking yelling at teammates, Xavier Lindsay, heaps of time. So I don't know. Maybe they're just super frustrated that they were giving them away, but they didn't look like they were ever like getting confidence back into each other. But Collingwood, that last 2 minutes, they took so much time off the clock. They just know exactly what to do. You can tell the last 5 minutes
so well.
Oh, the way that they kicked it out and they just went side to side, and then Billy Frampton put it out of bounds. They thought that they were going to go end to end, but Max Gawn was awesome. Josh Dacos was really good early. It was just a cracking game. Bailey Fritsch finally getting into it. He did not see Isaac Quainer.
Oh, that's a bad.
That's when you turn around. He's like, I'm going to run into an open there. Isaac Quainer tackles him there at the end. But you got to take your chances. But this was a great game. In a round there was some pretty average football. This was an awesome. And I want to, before you kick off, are Melbourne going to play finals?
Nah, they're the 10th or 11th best side. I think they're good, but I think they're a bit far behind. But I know Collingwood fans refuse to believe it, but I've seen it too often. Nick Dacos is taggable, and they got him today.
Yeah,
they had to win that. Every coach watched today and go, you just got to put an athlete, a runner that's about his same size and that can run all day. He's taggable.
A Neil Bullen, a Bedford.
A Neil Bullen, a Toby Bedford, and what's his name? Langford today. They got him. They absolutely bathed him. You cannot let Dacos have 33 and 2 against you. So he got given a goal today, but Langford bathed him. He got given a Mickey Mouse free kick at the end as well. Yeah. He's gettable. This is why I don't give Collingwood the grand final at the moment, because I think if Dacos is getting tagged on it in a prelim final, Saturday Arvo at the G, prelim final, and he's getting beaten, can you rely on Ned Long to have 30 in a game? Or can Crisp do it again? Pendles was great today. Yep. Sidey was good, but Melbourne were just as good today. Some teams have more talent than Melbourne, better midfields. It's like if one guy can get Dacos of the day, and I always think of Brisbane, and I'm like, they can always play well in Collingwood, but Dacos bathed him that day at the Gabba. Remember, He was unbelievable. So it's like the next time they see him, Will Berry or Dunkley playing him like Langford did today, and all of a sudden Neil and Ashcroft and McCluggage are better than Ned Long, Pendle, Sidebottom. So I think they're so gettable. It's why I'm not just going, here's your flag, Collingwood. I think they're beatable because their list isn't as good. They're gettable. But anyway, I know that's going to go down the shit. I was so impressed with the way Melbourne did everything today except for win the game. They just couldn't get the dub.
I just don't get why you don't tag. So what would be more important to Melbourne? Ed Langdon has his best game ever?
Yes.
Or Dacos has a shocker?
Yes.
What would be better for Melbourne?
Keeping Nick quiet.
What in any other team, if you look at Brisbane against them, are we just going to back system? Or if we say, you know what, we're going to have Dunkley because we've got so much talent around. Dunkley, you're not going to have too much impact, but you're going to make sure he doesn't. Yeah. How much more important is that than your whole team actually going through? Yeah. And it's just, I just don't get why you don't do it.
Yeah.
Just tag the fuck out of him. Just put work in him. Yeah. Have someone sacrifice their game.
Like, what's his name? Langdon was tiny shoes next to him today. Like, wherever Dacos went, Langdon went. He took him everywhere. Don't worry about team defense. It's Nick. And this is a credit to how good Nick is. You got to go with him, but he's taggable. But if
he gets you, he gets you.
Yeah.
Like, if you're Nick, what would you rather? You run around all day?
Yes.
Get you confident? Or you want someone on you the whole game?
Someone like Isaac Heaney comes and stands on you at stoppages, or George Hewitt stands on you at stoppages, and then you go head to head. Or fucking Langdon is on you, tying your shoes, having a drink with you. Not like you just have to do it. So anytime Collingwood beats a team and Dacos works off with 33 and 1 and they beat him, I have no sympathy for that coach. No sympathy at all. You have to have a crack at least. Yeah. You have to die on the sword of going, we're putting all our eggs in this basket. So it's going to happen in a big final, and I'm going, will the Collingwood players stand up? Will Ned Long and Harry Perryman and these guys and Quainer keep at this form? I question how good they are. And I'm happy for Collingwood supporters to go, I've got no idea what I'm talking about. Look how well they're all playing this year. Jamie Leonard's the best player in the comp, blah, blah, blah. That will happen if it happens. But Nick Dacos is that far above the rest of the Collingwood players. You have to stop him.
Well, let's say if these are the 4 prelim sides, Collingwood, Brisbane, Adelaide, Geelong. Brisbane,
it's going to have to be Dunkley or Berry.
Adelaide?
They're fast enough. Neil Bullen.
Yep. So that's perfect.
Did they keep that in the tank? Neil Bullen just goes to him like Bedford does.
100%. Just do it. And then Geelong, you can just they will 100% put someone to it.
They'll go head to head with Tom Atkins sort of standing on him. So they're all going to do it.
Those 3 teams will, and I feel those 3 teams are best suited.
Are Brisbane playing 4D chess? So they tried something at the Gabba that Friday night?
I think they all do. I think every team's got 3 playbooks. They've got what we do at the start of the year.
Our system, no matter what.
Hopefully we can try and get enough wins on the board that's the ideal path. And then you taper off and then you have a second wrinkle. and then you try and peak in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Something
4
in
weeks.
a grand final or a prelim they haven't put on tape once this year.
And then
for once.
next time you see them, it's like, all right, this is how all systems go.
Is it going to happen grand final? Is it going to happen in a prelim? We'll see. But then Jordan De Goey will probably be playing by then. So, yeah, they're bloody good. You got to give him credit.
I know you have to play Jordan De Goey if he comes in, but, and I'm not comparing him with Taylor Adams. Adam Treloar. But when you got these guys, if they're underdone, they come in. Like, you look at the Dogs the other night. Like, I'm not sure who they would have left out for Adam Treloar, but they just look so old. And imagine if he gets injured again.
Yeah.
Like, their team works so well without it. I know, but you have to make sure he's right. And his grand finals that he's previously played in, he's been unbelievable. The prelim against the Giants, like, you can't really leave him out, but you've got to make sure he's ready to go.
He's made for those moments, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
You've got to make sure he's ready to go. Any odds?
Oh, and Clayton Oliver, that kick out in the full with about a minute to go.
Had an extra second, didn't he?
It would have aged Simon Goodwin about. There's so many little moments that
in the last 10 minutes.
In the last 8 minutes, the young fella, Harvey Langford, where he slid in to win the ball back and got tackled holding the ball, and you're like, just a little bit of inexperience. They so should have won that game, but that's just a game Collingwood win. Yes, I've got some odds.
Cozzy Pickett's goal, what one do we want to talk about? The one in the first quarter or second quarter, he's just pumped off the ground for 40 meters.
Yeah, it was one of the best goals I've ever seen. And then when Ned Long got caught ball watching, he got out the back. And then the one in the last quarter, the leg speed he showed in that, when
he was side by side with Pendlebury.
When fast is faster than fast, his leg speed is unbelievable. So Bailey Fritsch for 3 was $6.50. That used to be about $1.80 leg for him to kick 3. Cozzy for 3 was $5. Dan McStay for 2 was $2.50. His return game. He looked great. He looked fit. He looked ripped.
He's huge.
He's big dude. Ned Long for 1 was $3.25, and McCreary for 1 was $2. Tom Sparrow was $2.70 for his goal, and Tholstrup was $2.10.
Colton Tholstrup. He doesn't have a first or a second name.
Josh Dacos for 30 was $2.60. Clary for 30 was $4.50.
Cash.
You called that. Pendles for 25 was $2.45. Jeremy Howe for 25 was $21. And then Isaac Quainer, you couldn't get him for 25, but he was $5.50 for 20. That's the second time we've said that in as many as weeks, I reckon.
So let's just have this conversation. I know people throw out these like all Australian teams, whatever, like someone.
You're thinking Jeremy Howe's
I'm
nearly
thinking
Australian.
If someone has Gunston in their team.
When Mitch Wallace had Jack Gunston,
I was going to name him, but if he has them, how can you not throw his name up? Jeremy Howe is an all-Australian backman. He has been unfucking believable. And if you're a Collingwood supporter, I know that you agree with me.
Yeah, he's been so good.
He's been domination.
So good.
All year. Used the ball really well. So pretty great matchups this round, but it hasn't lived up to, I don't feel. Like, I guess some games were all right, but on paper, all the games looked awesome, but it just didn't live it.
Yeah, that last game was good though. But how bad a Nick was the MCG? And it looked like a local footy ground. Looked like Brindisi Street.
Yeah, it did look like Brindisi Street. It looked
like a local footy ground.
It's a shoebox.
Anyway, that is the Sunday roast on round 13. This is coming out Tuesday, 6 a.m. I know we said something earlier, but whatever we said, I can't believe we're sitting next to each other.
Unbelievable.
We're about to film Hook, Line and Sinker, so you'll hear that next. Thank you.
Bosh.
What are you prepared to lose today? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.